play where the puck will be. Today I'd like to throw in a little hockey quote, which I think links nicely into the business world. One of the many quotes from the greatest hockey player of all times, Wayne Gretzky, is, "Don't play where the puck is. Play where the puck is going to be." It is simple, but still game-changing, I think. As I personally have spent a good portion of my youth playing ice hockey, I can still relate to that quote, on the ice and also off the ice. But it's not only related to hockey. Think about catching a ball. Our instincts guide our hand to where the ball will end up and not to rush where it's at the moment. And every 8-year-old knows how to nudge the parents in order to have the ice cream shop accidentally being on the way. So using anticipatory thinking for our current actions get developed already at a very young age. In the business world, we occasionally have the tendency to overcomplicate things. Huge investments, for example, in time and money go into market data. Then we print everything on 346 pages to see what is happening today. Well, I'd say sometimes much of that could also be seen by simply looking outside of our window instead of looking at our phones. And then afterwards, we hire futurists, we install predictive analytic tools, which all show us then what we want to see and what we need to please management, don't we? Now we know everything, job done. And next year, we conduct the new research to learn why we missed our goals. Sounds really amazing, right? Or maybe not so much. How about making more use of our senses, of human intelligence and also our experience to map out where we should play next? Let's go back to ice hockey. If you're the Connor McDavid in your industry, you can probably outplay and outskate your competitors and run all of your business very successful at all times. But how about trying to be more a Leon Draisaitl of the business world? What I mean by that is to always have open ears and eyes, also carefully observing what goes around us, near and far. And then we use all of our senses, our talents and experiences for being ready for pretty much all that could happen next. And when the moment comes, we can act quickly and with confidence. Or of course, we directly initiate the play ourselves, then we might be even better prepared. But that's another story. Now, how can all this be translated into our business lives? If we follow our competitors and chase every current hype that floods the social media channels, we will surely keep ourselves busy. But is this the key to success? Well, trying to please every trend sounds more like a key to chaos to me, actually. Take an example from the world of marketing. About 10 years ago, you might remember the so-called marketing automation tools were the hottest trend. Marketing will get so easy, we were told, and also things like this will cut your marketing costs by half while doubling the pipeline. Well, although I personally was one of the pioneers together with my team in utilizing marketing automation back then, I personally was rather skeptical by all the hype promises at that time. And I also never liked the term marketing automation in the first place because it was never supposed to run your marketing automatically. But anyway, think about all the consultants and agencies focusing on deploying marketing automation software during those years. It was a bit of a gold rush out there, wasn't it? Now, did it solve all of our marketing problems? Of course not. Back then, it was already obvious that things like data quality and sales alignment were major roadblocks more often than not. Well, at least this was obvious to the prepared minds. It was also logical that those automation tools did not boost up creativity and innovation. I mean, for the smart folks, it was clear that you still need brain and courage to get a campaign from PowerPoint to revenue. Also, no MarTech will ever build you an effective international marketing supply chain. Only skills and craftsmanship will do. You probably know the saying, a fool with a tool is still a fool. Amen. So the lemmings back then were all chasing after Marketo, Pardot and friends, while at the same time, some others were already preparing to clean up databases and enriching all sorts of customer data. The smart ones also invested in hiring and developing talent. They developed the marketing supply chain and applied the tools on hand. You see, those ones actually played where the puck is going to be next. And to be honest, it sometimes feels like many organizations are still playing where the puck was about 10 years ago or so. At the moment, you could say that the puck is with the AI fan clubs. But where will the puck be next? Maybe finding the answer to that could be a bit more valuable than playing and giggling with some AI gadgets. But that's just my humble and maybe even unpopular opinion. Another example for playing where the puck is going to be is Red Bull. Basically, it's a company selling canned sugared water. We all know that, but still most of us buy those. And I must confess, I'm one of their customers. Red Bull is somehow freaking successful in pretty much everything they do, by doing things differently and very often paving new ways. Look at that. I guess Red Bull didn't have a predictive model saying that building an ice slope in cities and letting skaters rush down those made-up hills would be a business booster. Or take the Stratos project. A man jumping out of a balloon down 39 kilometers was probably not seen as a success factor by market researchers back then. But all of those endeavors turned out to not only thrill so many people, but it actually increased the sales of their drinks in cans. On my last example, do you remember the days when we had the many dial-in numbers for conference calls? Well, we now know that operators who invested purely into those once highly used and trending telco bridges, well, most of them actually do not exist anymore today. So, human behavior can hardly be squeezed into predictive AI models. Customers often surprise us and break out of our well-designed buyer's journeys. Well, how dare they? But our experiences, open-mindedness, and also human intelligence can sometimes do wonders. And from time to time, if you want to know the road ahead, let's just ask those coming back. And if you then add a bit of market research and some predictive scenarios into the mix, then we actually play where the puck is going to be. Thanks for listening. For more thoughts, go to silocrusher.com.